very cold today, so we're wearing the world's biggest jumper, and we are opening the Witch box, which is the box from Occult box for the month of March. So these are coming slightly later in the month now, which is to be expected because obviously everything has to get to Occult box and then get to me with all the sort of COVID stuff in the way. So I'm actually still amazed that they are getting them out before like the very end of the month. So, you know, hats off to them. Last month's box was incredible. I think everyone else had a similar reaction because Occult box had some posts on their social media, like they couldn't believe the positive reaction to that box. So I was really excited to get my hands on the Witch box. The theme is just Witch. Next month's theme I have already ordered, and it is celestial. So it will be like stars, moons, suns, constellations, all of that good stuff. And I'm really looking forward to hopefully getting some like bits and pieces for the room for that. So with that in mind, let's get into the Witch box. Oh, okay. Got some purple tissue paper and black tissue paper stars, and then a sort of tarot card design here, the sun. I actually have this design, you might be able to see it here. This is a stained glass thing I did with one of these. I did have a video on it, but then it got deleted when I reformatted my computer because I'm an idiot. But I'm hoping to do a tutorial on that soon. But there we have a little sun card. And let's see what is in the box. There's a definite smell of like incense sticks. Oh, they got a lot stronger when I lifted that up. Okay, this is the culprit. We've got a little bag of incense cones here, which are kind of fun to shake. There's a lot of different coloured ones, sort of pinks and purples, that sort of colour scheme. They smell very much like incense cones. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't really know what scent they are. Maybe something in here will tell me. But there's a good number in there. I assume that's because we've gotten a product which you would use with these, like an incense cone burner. Then we have a pin, which is on Occult box packaging. So I assume this is like an Occult box specialty item. Let's get a little bit closer. It's a little cauldron with a skull and a crystal ball on a purple background with a sort of badge back. I like the colours, they sort of match the packaging as well. So that's quite cute. I like. Then we have a random little felt witch hat, which is sort of similar to the ones that I have on like bunting in my window. I don't know what that's meant to go with, but we'll find out. Okay, we have a little tiny sign from Spirit of Equinox, which says, "You say witch like it's a bad thing." Is that a magnet? No. Just checking on the radiator. But it's a teeny tiny sign. Not really sure what I would do with that, but we'll see. There's like bigger items in the bottom. I think this is just like the little stuff on top. So here we have some tea leaves, loose black tea with hibiscus flower. Again, packaged by Occult box with that like Occult box label on it. A fairly good amount there. I don't tend to drink the tea. If you're not new here, you'll probably know that because I say it every time I get tea. But it does go to Vanda, so it doesn't get wasted. Then we have another one of these little test tubey things like we got last time. This just contains Himalayan rock salt, which I don't actually have any of at the moment. I can't remember if I've had it in a previous box. I probably have at some point, but it just tends to be one of the things that goes into the boxes that I tend to get rid of. Okay, then we have a little bubble wrapped package which contains two little glass bottles. The first is one of those little craft glass bottles, and it says Sweet Dreams Spell on it on the label. And it does seem to contain lavender and some other things. It smells quite a lot like lavender. And then with that comes quite a decent sized bottle of Witch's Cauldron fragrance oil. I don't know if this is like a handmade blend, because it does just have the Occult box label on it. It doesn't have a dropper inside. And it smells kind of just like sweet and floral. I think the incense kind is still like bombarding me, but it has kind of like a sweet floral kind of bath product smell. And then we have another bubble wrapped object. There's just so much stuff in this box. I feel like last month we got like a really good amount of items, and this month is going to be kind of similar. We have a lot of bubble wrap. And we have a cute little black cauldron with little legs. And it says Witch's Brew on the front. And this just says it's from Alator Giftware. It just says Witch's Brew Pot Nemesis Now on it. So I'm guessing this is like a Nemesis Now item. I'm not sure what we do with that. Maybe you could put your incense cones inside it. But it doesn't say like heat resistant or anything. But you could probably put those in there. I do kind of wish sometimes that a Occult box would have a little card so that we know what some of this stuff was intended for. Then we have another small item. This is a car air freshener. I don't have my car anymore. So sad. But it's a black disc with a pentacle on it, and it says Blessed Be on the bottom. I'm not sure what company makes these. Jones Home and Gifts.co.uk, made in China. So if you wanted to get one of those for yourself, it's double-sided. You could, I guess, hang that in a wardrobe as well if you wanted to, like, scent your wardrobe. But I might keep that for when I next actually have a car. Then we have some of the bigger items, starting with this pouch, which has crystals in it. These are some crystals. At least one of these is one that I don't think I've had in a box before, so that's nice. I'll tip these. Whoop! So the three that we have are fluorite, which is this sort of purpley green number. I already have some fluorite, but admittedly not a piece this big. Then we have aura quartz, which is, I think, just clear quartz that's been given like a heat treatment coating to make it like gleam in different colours. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but there it is. And then the largest one is this quite nice large blue chunk, which is apparently calcite. The picture on the card for calcite is clear and pink like coconut ice. But this is like bright blue. I would guess that this has been dyed to make it that colour, because it's just a very kind of bright blue, unnatural colour. Someone's slamming a door just for the hell of it. But that's quite nice. I don't have any calcite in my collection at the moment. And I don't have any aura quartz either, although I suspect that aura quartz isn't actually a real like thing. It's just sort of treated. But there we go. I'm kind of seeing like the witch theme in this. Like you've got crystals, oils, incense. There's a lot of witchy uses for these. Ooh. Okay, at the bottom here we have, we have a cute little notepad. I really liked the notepad that came in the Halloween box or the autumn box. The one that had like candy corns and stuff on it. I think that was probably Halloween. I'm still using that one, but this is also really cute. I have my pegs, you know, those little leaf pegs, hanging up on a line over my desk, and I just attach the little notelets to it with stuff I need to remember. So that's quite useful for me to have. We do have a little card here. to tell us something. So it says Sweet Dreams Spell Jar, the Himalayan Rock Salt, and Crystal Ball. So I'm guessing that's what's in this box, but we'll get to that in a second. It just says that the Sweet Dreams Spell Jar contains lavender and mugwort and can be used under the pillow or used as a smelling salt before bed, placed on your altar as an offering to the deities Hecate. It gives no other deity, or use the herbs for your own sleep-inspired spell work. And then uses for the rock salt include as a bath soak, to sprinkle on thresholds for protection, cleansing crystals, or using spell work. So some ideas there and a bit of information as well. There is some information on the crystal ball, but I'll read that once I've opened what I guess is the crystal ball. It does say crystal on a sticker on the outside. Comes in this little magnetic box. And here we have the little stand and tiny crystal ball. PSA, do not leave these in the sunlight because they'll burn your house right down. I used to have one exactly this size, which was a black glass ball, but I got rid of it because I never used it. And this is probably also going to go the same way because I'm not really a crystal ball person. I think they're cute, I think they look really nice, but it's just not something that I've ever used as a tool. So this is probably, keep an eye out on eBay because this is probably going to go into a mixed lot. It is cool though that I think it could maybe fit on here and you could use that as a little holder. That would be quite sweet. There we go. So put that back in its little box. It is cool though that that has been included in the box, like a whole ass magical tool. Personally, it's just not one that I would use. And the advice given about it, the first thing on here is don't put it in the sunshine. So well done, Occult Box, for saving someone's house. And it says to use to scry, gives instructions on how to do that, gives instructions on how to connect with your crystal ball. Other uses can bring calming, harmonious energies to any room. Place it in the centre of a table to promote harmony. And good for diffusing negative emotions and stress as well, and can be used on the altar to enhance clairvoyant work. So plenty of uses. I'll probably include that with the ball if I decide to sell it, just for like information purposes / warning people not to burn their own homes down. There is more stuff in here. Underneath everything, woo, we have a writing set, which includes purple envelopes and some really cute letter cards with skulls and cauldrons and crystal balls on. So like letter paper and envelopes. The letter paper is A4, so that's the bottom, and then the top of it is just like more of the border and lines. I like writing letters and cards and things. I tend to send them mainly to Vanda with lots of tea that I've just accrued, so that's always useful to have. I like it. And finally we have a deck of cards. I'm just going to put the box to one side. Ooh. So these are the set of 100 tea leaf reading cards. Read your fortune in tea leaves. I think I've seen someone selling these at one point or another, and I was kind of curious. So on the back it says, master the ancient art of tea leaf reading. With the help of these cards, learn how to prepare and analyse the cup, decipher the symbol meanings and predict your future. They are in plastic, but I think I will open them up just to get a look at what they actually look like. Some of these instruction cards, so the history of tea reading and introduction, how to use these cards, so basically it says that these cards provide information, find out how to use the areas of the cup and how to interpret the shapes. Also included in this pack are tips on how to read the leaves, famous tea quotes, example readings, general symbol meanings, and a glossary of symbols. What you need to get started, which tea to use, making the tea, this is quite involved. I feel like this could have been a book. Drinking the tea. Preparing your cup. Starting point, the handle. Areas of the cup, interpreting the shapes. And then underneath all the ones that are mainly text, which is... So basically, ooh, this much of the pack is instructional stuff. And then it gives you some example readings, which look like this, with like the areas on the cup. And then some images, like a cow, a crab, a cross, and a crown. So I'm assuming these are alphabetical. Right the way through to some famous tea quotes at the end. So a pretty good deck there for like tasseomancy. I assume that's what it's called. I think I've read that somewhere. Again, not really something I do, so that might be heading to Vanda. But it is really cool that they included like a whole ass deck of cards. It is unfortunate, however, that after last month's box, my expectations were so high, because I feel like there's not a lot of stuff in here that I'm actually going to keep and use. So the tea cards and the crystal ball are really good items to include in the box, but not personally for me, which, you know, isn't the makers of the box's problem. It's a me thing. The little tiny felt hat and the tiny little sign, and to a greater or lesser extent this cauldron, feel a bit disjointed. I don't know what you would do with these things in and around your home. Like, this doesn't seem to be a fridge magnet of some kind, so it's a little bit small just to hang up. And similarly, like, what would you do with a little felt witch hat, except put it on your head for 5 seconds like I did, and then not do anything else with it. So those are a little bit kind of hit and miss. The incense cones confuse me, because aside from burning them in the cauldron, I can't really see what other item I would use them with. But the cauldron label didn't say that it was an incense burner. I was kind of expecting maybe one of those backflow burners, or one of the ones with the witch hat where you like put it on top and it comes out the top of the hat. So that's confusing. The salt is a good item, a little bit generic, but, you know, useful. And I liked the crystals that we got, quite big ones. That was interesting, and like not ones that I'd had previously, like, you know, your quartz and your amethyst. So that's cool. I like the writing stuff, the notepad. I'm probably going to keep those. The pin badge has the same theme as those, but I have a lot of pin badges, so can't say if I'll keep that one or not. Again, the Witch's Cauldron fragrance oil feels a bit disjointed. We did get an oil burner a couple of boxes back that was like cauldron shaped, so I guess it could go with that, but it just feels kind of like weird, although it's called Witch's Cauldron, so I get why it's included, but it's not my favourite type of item to receive. So we did get some like witchy themed things, and they are connected to that theme, but I was kind of hoping for more kind of home items, or just sort of more interesting things that we hadn't had before, because we've had fragrance oils and incenses and like little spell jars and things. I was kind of expecting it to be a bit more out of the box like last month's one was. We got some really interesting bits and bobs, but it's an okay box. I'm not mad about it. It's just unfortunate that the two biggest items in there are things that I personally won't get a lot of use out of. Which again, that's very much a matter of personal taste. Other people will probably open that up and be delighted, but yeah, it's just not something I'm going to use. But I am quite excited to like have some more witchy notepads and things on my desk, and we'll probably find like uses for these things in like little craft projects and such, which will be exciting. So in the meantime, I have to let you know though that I have got a new box I've never had before coming in May, which is very exciting. So that's gonna be great. It's more craft focused, like arts and crafts, not witchcrafts, but it's also witchy and arts and crafts, which is very exciting. So I'll be looking at that one in May. I'm still looking out for a Cures and Curses box. I might be getting the kind of May one of those as well. We'll see how we go. and I'm very much looking forward to my Celestial box for April. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one.